So on the sidelines of the Paris Blockchain Week 2024, for which the Metaverse Street Journal was an official media partner, we reached out to Sebastien Borget and his team. The Sandbox PR and communications team was gracious enough to invite the Metaverse Street Journal team to this absolutely gorgeous office in the heart of Paris, where all the magic happens. In this conversation with Sebastien, I talked to him about the Sandbox UGC, tools and monetization for content creators, Sandbox's mobile app launch, how Sebastien sees the metaverse, and what, in his opinion, will trigger the mass adoption of the metaverse. As Sandbox and Upland embark on a historic collaboration with Dr. Dirk Luth as the co-founder of Upland Metaverse and the chairman of Open Metaverse Alliance, also known as OMA3, and Sebastien Borget, the co-founder of the Sandbox and president of the Blockchain Game Alliance. This partnership ushers in the first stepping stones to the interoperability between metaverse platforms, especially Upland Metaverse and Sandbox. Lastly, as you can see soon, the Metaverse Street Journal has also left a small souvenir or a piece of our presence in the Sandbox office in Paris. I now present to you my interview with Sebastien Borget, the co-founder of the Sandbox. Hi, we're here with Sebastien Borget of Sandbox. Hi, Sebastien. It's great to meet you.
Same wise. Thanks for being in the Sandbox Paris office today.
Thank you. Absolutely. So, Sebastien, before we begin, I just wanted to understand your personal background. And I don't think a lot of people would ask you this, but I want to understand, growing up, where did Sebastien Borget come from that leads him to start Sandbox? If you could just give us a brief introduction of your personal background, your childhood, your experiences, and how that led you to the point where you started Sandbox.
All right. Well, I'm born in the south of France. I'm 39 years old, and I did actually engineering study. So like a public school engineering called Télécom Sud Paris. The first time I came to Paris was actually quite late, until not before until I was 18 years old. So really a boy from the province. But I've always been like a geek and an early adopter of new technology. So I got access to every single console almost on the first day of the launch, and I was happy to play and discover games. So that made me very curious and wanted to always understand like how video games are made and how those geek technological gadgets and tech products were actually made as well. So I went through that school. I graduated in 2007. I did an exchange program on the last semester at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, CUHK. So 6 months in Hong Kong, traveling abroad, discovering a bit Asia. And I also met online my co-founder at Madrid by then. As you know, I was as a geek, I was spending time playing games, and I was also like writing open source codes. Specifically, I was quite known in the peer-to-peer space, BitTorrent communities, because I was writing open source trackers back then. And so his first company was actually about peer-to-peer, like how video on demand and TV channels in France could save bandwidth costs by using that technology. Yeah. So he contacted me. We started to work together remotely. And when I finished that exchange program in Hong Kong, I came back to France and I started to work with him. And it's been 16 years since we worked together. We co-founded 3 companies. We sold 2. And it was always in the space of like new technology, a pioneer in peer-to-peer, a pioneer in Web 2.0, where users could upload their photo, video, and music in the cloud, stream them, and share them with their friends. Yeah. And in 2011, we also wanted to make video games. So that led us really with the new smartphones, iPhone and Android phone coming up. I kind of felt like, wow, it's the dream of like making video games. Just 1 or 2 people in their garage is doable once again, because if not, like to make video games, you needed like large team, very specific skills, access to hardware. It cost millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. You need the development kits and so on. So a high barrier to entry for that industry, and the like smartphone broke that market and allows like anyone again to make video games. So we started that studio, we fundraised a little bit, and we started to make games with IPs and characters, Garfield, Snoopy, Lamb's Family, Goosebumps, among others, and a little game called The Sandbox, which really we was created by a developer in Argentina, published on the platform Congregate, so Flash game at the beginning, and we turned it into like a very friendly game on smartphone. And what motivated us to do Sandbox is like, well, and now I can make my dream come true. I can make a video game studio and start publishing games, but still the barrier to entry is high. You need to learn programming, you need to know how to publish on an iPhone and so on. So what about we create a simple game just by the touch of your finger, you drop 2D pixels, those pixels take life, they react based on the laws of physics, and you share those creations online, and the result has been amazing. Within months we had millions of downloads, people were sharing like from everything, live simulation to art to music, and so as we updated that game over time, we added more and more characters, enemies, mechanism, rules of gameplay, and so on. And people shared like real, actual games. And we had 70 million creation in total shared by users. We had 40 million downloads, and that really became a big franchise. But still, somehow, like we also encountered some challenges. In a way, all those creators, we were very close to them. We were featuring them, talking to them on forums and communities. And we were losing a lot of them over time. Like after a few months, after a few years, like they were moving on to something else, even if we were featuring their profile and giving them a lot of visibility. So that really frustrated us, and even though we tried to work with contract with some of them to pay them, actually we found they need to earn a revenue from the time and activities they spend, and there's no way on the App Store and Google Play Store to do that at scale. So we got frustrated, and we were looking for solution but didn't find any until 2017. We keep exploring the field of new technologies, discover about Bitcoin, about like blockchain technology, learn about it, and find the first game that use blockchain, like CryptoKitties, and say, let's try. Like, in the gaming industry, we try to analyze, to benchmark, to deconstruct product. And we saw that 3 specific things essentially were standing out for this game. The first is like a very simple game. You breed virtual cats, but those cats, you actually don't buy them from the developer. You buy it from other players. That's already very new in the gaming industry. And then you don't buy them in the game itself. You buy them on an external website that is a marketplace, a sort of eBay of digital assets, of virtual cats, called OpenSea. And the last thing is like, actually you don't pay with a credit card, you pay with a cryptocurrency called ETH. And then for us, like, wow, imagine you apply that, but instead of doing virtual cat or dogs or dragon or fishes, whatever, you actually apply that technology. So like the content made by the creators, those games, those characters, they could sell them how they want on marketplaces and monetize it directly. And that really got us a trigger. We need to rebuild Sandbox, make it a platform, 3D, multiplayer, with a marketplace, with a map, with the edition tool, the creator tools, and make it use blockchain and NFT, so creators truly own the content they make, can monetize it the way they want, and can use it however they want on the Sandbox platform with our game maker, but also potentially outside. And that's, I guess, the long answer to that journey, right?
Thank you very much. Absolutely, I love that. Since you talked about the whole ETH and paying that, this is a question that comes to a lot of Indians as well, right? Because as we explore, India has a 30% crypto tax. So this question is coming from a lot of those users. So there is a segment of users who cannot, due to their country's government, or cannot because of other reasons, buy cryptos. Will Sandbox ever allow the use of fiat money like US dollars, euros as a direct method to buy land in Sandbox Metaverse?
So it's a great question, and the goal of Sandbox as a platform is indeed to empower anyone to become a creator. So I think, like, instead of like being only thinking like users need to buy crypto to be able to buy something. Why don't we make people earn crypto? You know, like I think it's a better way to onboard, to give, to airdrop. And so you can actually earn a lot of content in Sandbox, whether you can earn sand or NFTs or lands by actively participating on the platform as a creator first. So we run those game jams, those contests, and you gain new skills as well. So first, like there is really this discover a new 3D software, modeling, animating, playing with voxels and making your own characters, etc. And then game jams, so we're creating full games or experiences with our no-code game maker. So learning how to make like iterative design, game designs, interacting in a 3D spatial environment, and so on. You gain those skills that are valuable, and then you earn sand as reward if you rank in the top 10 or sometimes higher. And you get a land for free to publish. So in my opinion, it's a better way to take that approach. And then about fiat payment, we looking holistically. There's a number of partners indeed that you can pay with a credit card, and it turns your fiat into crypto. So at the end of the day, the creators still receive sand token. The only thing I'm thinking about is like many of those countries, they still, like if they don't have access to crypto, they probably don't have access to credit card either. They are like unbanked we see in India huge markets as well, and I believe maybe stable coins, USDT, and all those currency might be, or Polygon maybe, and with Matic might be contributing toward like growing and onboarding users. I know CoinDCX in India is one of our partners. Actually, they run like 50 chapters where they train and educate communities about the use of crypto and soon about the use of Sandbox and Metaverse. In India, we have a partnership, joint venture called Box, which is really focused to like leverage all the best Indian creators, best Indian IPs from Bollywood, music as well, and sport, cricket, and so on. And it's a very exciting neighborhood where we introduce partners like Ungama, Shemaru, cool stuff. I'm sure like if we have an Indian audience, it rings a bell to that.
Absolutely. So since you talked about content creators, Sebastien, my next question is, and this is publicly we've seen a push for content creators in Sandbox. What are we trying to achieve here, and can you elaborate on the value proposition for content creators? I'll give you an example. For example, YouTube pays content creators ad revenue, right? So what can content creators add to Sandbox, and how can Sandbox support content creators? If you could just talk about that.
It's a great question, and it really connects to our efforts. Like we are very creator driven, both from a product perspective. So we keep releasing major product updates to empower the creator to do better things, more fun things. We added a lot of monetization mechanics, like the marketplace is now open. Anyone can mint an NFT on Polygon Layer 2, can start selling it, can use it as like a ticket or a trigger to activate quest or gate access to certain portion of their experience on the map. Soon they will be able to launch their own collection of NFTs, their own collection of avatars as well later this year. We have, as I mentioned, various contests and game jams that reward creators who participate and engage to earn sand token. We also have this Builder Challenge program running on right now for 10 weeks. So we're this is the 6th week already. And there's 1.5 million sand in total to be won to the creators who publish an experience on their land and drive more users to the platform. So as a creator, as you contribute to grow the platform, you also earn a lot of rewards for yourself. So that's I think the most fair way. And then as a player, you can also have an avatar, explore, participate in the various events, even including for major brands, complete quests, and earn rewards as you rank in the leaderboard and as you earn points. And the more quests you do, the more points you earn at those points and that you rank. So there are many ways that we support people to engage. We call it build to earn. Typically, like we participate all in this adventure of like building neighborhoods on the map, contributing to make a vibrant place full of content and immersive games. We provide templates for those creators who are to create even faster if you don't have the full skill or you don't need to go through that learning process. But we also have a very active education aspect. So we are putting in place workshops, boot camps. We did a few already around Asia, in Japan, in Korea, in Hong Kong, in partnership with various schools and academy. And in India, it started as well. We'll have, I was mentioning CoinDCX, they will be one of our partners to like propose boot camps and workshops to educate people to participate, to learn those skills for the tools. Once again, I think like being creator driven and focused means like the first, for the metaverse to succeed, we need a big focus on the creator first. Like if there's not great content, fun content, a diversity of content on the map, there will not be players afterwards who keep playing and exploring those content. Ultimately, I think like the pioneer on the platform, like the next Candy Crush, the next Angry Bird, the next Temple Run studio, etc., will be a studio that starts building on the sandbox. Will not be an external game studio already established that suddenly port their content. So being early on the platform, understanding how it works, what the format of games or an entertainment you can do with it, which is different from other platforms. It's not like Roblox, because it's not like Minecraft, it's not like Fortnite, it's really specific. Building your reputation there, growing your community, engaging them with reward, maybe even your own token. You can launch your own creator token soon. All of that contributes to like supporting creators, empowering them, and hopefully seeing like the future rising stars.
Sure, absolutely. Well, my next question to you, Sebastien, is do you ever envision Sandbox being the public square that Elon Musk used that analogy for Twitter, right? That it's a public square where all topics are discussed and or debated openly in public all over the world. Do you see that?
I love it. I love the idea. Like, yes, you enter in the sandbox with your avatar. The first thing you join is a social hub. Maybe there will be many social hubs by like neighborhood. So Bharat Box in India will have its own. We'll have like Cavers will have its own. And you meet new people. You discover content to explore. You will be able to, you already can chat, and soon you might be able to voice chat, video chat, sing, dance, a lot of cool social activity. Follow friends, join your friends into various instances. So I hope, yes, like we create an habit progressively of like, what are my friends doing? Where are they in the metaverse? How we play together, how we build together. And we become like this agora kind of like social hub you described.
Yep, absolutely. I just also wanted to get an update on the Sandbox app, because we all know the Sandbox app is in the works, right? Do you have any update for the community?
Absolutely. So I think you refer to the mobile app.
Yes, yes, the iOS and the Android app.
It's coming next year. So this year we are focusing on keep updating regularly the creation tool, the game maker, and the game client, optimizing a lot. So the next release coming early April. Mid-April is like cutting loading time by 3. So basically now you can really move, enter the sandbox in less than 30 seconds. There's a launcher coming up, there's a new tutorial. And then after you can move from any experience to another again in like roughly less than 30 seconds. Absolutely.
I have last 2 questions because I know you're a busy person and you need to go. So in your opinion, and this is strictly your opinion, what is stopping the mass adoption of Metaverse? And what will trigger the mass adoption of the Metaverse?
So I think like the success of the Metaverse will come from 3 factors, like great product and great products that allow you to create fun content, fun experiences. So content is the second element. If we don't have like exciting content that is like different enough from other platforms or not at the same level of quality and fun that other platforms, it will probably not drive more users into it. The content, like it only takes one great content, but you need to have like some scale and spreading. So thousands of content for one to emerge probably, and then after it will spread out by network effect. And third, we need an ecosystem. So that's something like at Sandbox we're doing well. It's like to be present in various regions of the world instead of concentrating on only like, US or Europe market. And being present in India with Paradox, being present in Korea, in Japan, in Turkey, in Singapore, in Thailand, in Vietnam, Southeast Asia, allows us to be closer to the creators, closer to the partners, the brand, the players, and hopefully like one of those emerging countries that have been left out by the Web2 revolution will be the next one that benefits by being early in the metaverse, adopting it, and launching exciting content for to promote throughout the rest of the world.
Absolutely. Well, my last question to you, Sebastien. In the industry, we often hear that UGC, user-generated content, is the future of Metaverse and Web3 by extension. Can you talk a little to those people who are critics and say that that's transferring the responsibility to the users to create the Metaverse? And if you could talk about UGC in general.
So, well, of course, I'm a fervent supporter of like user-generated content. That's something I've been doing since 2011. I can see the power of the community, the creativity of the community, and there's no limit to like how communities can be creative and push content. And even the best game designer in the world at game studio cannot compete with the scale that a UGC provides. Yeah. That's the first thing. The second is I believe like. We still haven't fully pushed the extent of UGC. So onboarding new creators, first-time creator, people who didn't even know they could become creator, is essential. And that's possible because we use simple, accessible tools. I think the success of TikTok, of Instagram, posting a photo, posting a video is so simple. Everyone can take their phone, tag, and that's it, and post it. Making games is still a bit more complex, but if we're able to simplify it with template, make it is just like painting instead of like using a very complex 3D software or Unity or Unreal, then you can like bring that like literacy and allow people to become creators. There is a lot of positive value for brands and content to associate themselves with user-generated content. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Because like even if brands or partners feel like they might dilute their IP, they might take the risk of like the low quality, like the upside is so much better. They get access to a lot of content. They get access to like always a positive image that we're encouraging creative skills among our audience instead of trying to sell them product. And so like creativity is the ultimate skill within that we all look up for. Like what can help us to like become more creative, what can help us to like get out of our daily routine and the hard world that we're living with, I don't know, inflation and climate change and difficult topic, is like to look up at like how we can come up with creative solution and be more creative together. And yeah, I think it's also the ultimate form of engagement. Like all brands, all companies, what they look up today, like we're all competing for attention. Like we're in an economy of attention, and that's why we do all those social media posts, etc. We want to capture fraction of attention from our users, usually seconds. And it's expensive. We don't own the user base. We don't own the contact, the direct link to the audience on the social media platform like Instagram, TikTok, etc. We have to pay those platforms to reach out to our user. With Metaverse, by opening ourselves to user-generated content, not only we capture user attention, but we get a lot of it. It's like on average, like someone who explores a Metaverse experience spends 30 minutes to 60 minutes within your world. This is like I don't think, just imagine like usually people, they spend 3-4 hours a day on the internet dedicated. 2 hours of that goes to YouTube, 1 hour of that goes to social media. If as a brand I can capture that much of that user attention, this is very valuable. And it doesn't need to be millions or hundreds of millions of users at the beginning. Let's start with 10,000, 100,000, 1 million users, and it will keep growing by network effect. As a fan, when I like a product, when I like a brand, when I like a service, usually I want to start like producing content on my own to recommend it. So again, going back to this idea, like UGC is the most natural way of like someone showing they care, they love, and they want to recommend a product, service, or some content, a celebrity, an artist, an athlete, etc. So it's definitely in line with like everything. It's kind of like the ultimate grail of like what we should look up for. And those games that embrace modding, that embrace user-generated content, people making their characters, their level, changing the map, and so on, those are the games that will last for decades. Once you start creating something, you have this emotional attachment. It doesn't need to sell to millions of people. Like even if it's my cat, my parent, my boyfriend or girlfriend who see the content I create, I feel proud. I can tell about it, and turning every one of us as a creator is again like this idea, like it will hold us more on those service and platform than if you have nothing there, not this kind of like personal attachment and relation. So once again, for all those reasons, I think like UGC is the future of gaming, of the metaverse as well, and it's really the direction we should all look up for.
Absolutely. Well, Sebastien, let me ask you like a small personal question. Who is one celebrity that you would like to see in Sandbox that's not already here?
Oh wow, there's many, like many singers, celebrities. So maybe, let's see.
Maybe an open invitation to them.
Open invitation to. Wow, I guess okay. I love to see you two come to Sandbox one day. Why? It's because like you two really contributed to like the iTunes Music Store and really bringing like the iPod to the masses in the way. So they really contributed to that musical revolution to have our song in our pocket. So I love someone like them, which also like have been constantly producing over decades music, engaging. At the age of technology, one day to embrace Metaverse too.
Sure, absolutely. Well, that was a great answer, Sebastien. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully we'll have another follow-up
conversation in a few months.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you everyone, and hopefully see you in the Metaverse.
Absolutely.
Gonna clap in front of the microphone.
Okay, I'll look at you and look at the camera.
No problem. No.
Cool. We did it.
Yeah.